Well, hello, good people, and Eagle and Commander fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. Tomorrow, it's Monday. Get back to work day and handle your business. So, we're 1 week closer to the NFL season. In fact, March is almost in the books. We only have another week of that. In fact, 2 weekends, 2 weeks, we've got the autograph signing show in Chantilly. And I know Dak will be there, CeeDee Lamb will be there, Mike Parsons will be there, Brandon Aubrey will be there, Schoonmaker will be there, Michael Irvin will be there, Emmitt Smith will be there. Trying to think who else will be there. Danny White will be there. There's literally, it's going to be a lot of Cowboy players that are going to be there. It's going to be huge as always. The Cowboys literally take over the place. You'll see a few players from here and there. You know, like last year we had the Prince there, Trevor Lawrence, the week that he got his big check, and he showed up about an hour late and about $275 for his autograph, which is kind of insane. Be that as it may, trying to figure out what to make of the Dallas Cowboys this offseason. I'm going to say, looking back at last year, it was the 19th when the Cowboys signed Rico Dowdle. And I think the Cowboys, honestly, I think Rico should have been one that they re-signed. But really, when you look at this free agent class this year, it doesn't have the major the major players that you really like to see. There's no Saquons, there's no Derrick Henry, so to speak. There's good players, a lot of ones that probably could make you a little bit better, but looking at the price tag on some of the guys, I almost feel like the Cowboys might have done the right thing, at least early on. Now, if they don't do anything else, then of course we're going to be in the same boat that we usually are when it comes to the offseason, where we haven't really made enough changes to help our team out. If the Cowboys, with this money they have left, do a couple of, it won't take a lot. This is the thing that drives me crazy every year about the Cowboys, is they won't do anything. And I honestly feel like it's not a lot of things that they have to do to get over the hump. But they don't do it. But I have a feeling that maybe, just maybe, they will. Game Time Brian, I talked to him this morning, and he was talking about Paris Campbell. Here's the thing that I love to hear about what happened with Paris Campbell. And maybe Paris Campbell is one of those guys who really didn't get much of a chance because the Eagles were such a good team. They didn't really have time to develop him. And they just didn't have playing room for him, especially on a team that was more predicated on the run. You literally saw A.J. Brown reading a book on the sidelines because there's no stress because Saquon was carrying the load. But what he was talking about was Brian Schottenheimer was on the phone with him for like a half an hour, and they're talking about crossing routes and things. The Cowboys don't usually do very many crossing routes. But the fact that Brian Schottenheimer, I really believe that he's going to be better than what people are thinking. There's a lot of coaches that were hired this year. A lot. And you know how many will probably be failures? Probably about 80% of them. We always hear about the hot coordinators and this guy's going to be great. And more times than not, take a look at the Bill Belichick coaching tree. How many of those guys left, became head coaches, bombed and failed, and went back to New England or went to the college ranks? And every single one of those guys, whether it was Josh McDaniels or Romeo Crennel, you know, um, Matt Patricia, what was the idiot that was down in with the Texans? He actually did get to the playoffs one year. Dan, I can't remember. But you understand what I'm saying, is there's no guarantee just because you come from a winning organization and your side of the ball did good, that you're going to be a great coach. If you look at the coaching class that Dan Campbell was with, everybody thought Dan Campbell was definitely going to be the guy who fell off the salad truck and was a total idiot that was going to bomb, and the Lions were going to be like the Lions always are. But I think he's the only one that's left standing from his class that's actually done anything. But I think the Cowboys, they're trying to maximize everything. Now, come April 28th, April 28th is a very, very important day, because after April 28th, anybody you sign will not go against the players that you've lost in losing comp picks. Cowboys have a first, a second, a third. No fourth. 3 fifths right now, 3 fives, 2 sixes, and 2 sevens. Now, you'd love for those to be 2 ones and 2 twos and stuff like that. But you have those extra picks that you can use trading down, because they changed the rules on comp picks. They are tradable. You could package a couple of those up and move up, or you could take one of those and trade with somebody else for a player. That gives you more options. And at the moment, I believe, because Cooper Rush, D-Law, and Jordan Lewis could potentially give you 3 more comp picks. But if you sign somebody in free agency now to a contract that's similar to those guys, you lose the comp picks. I think the Cowboys are looking at this and they're saying, you know, we feel good about the players that we brought in now. It wasn't an incredible cast where you look and say, there's, you know, guys that will definitely be, you know, 100% guys that are really going to change your team. I mean, looking at the wide receivers, you know, whether it's Stephon Diggs, who's recovering from a knee injury, or Cooper Kupp, who has had a couple of years of down service, 3, or any of the other guys, everybody has been going downhill. And we've had enough of those guys. The Cowboys are saying enough of the old people. We're going to go young. And we're not going to mess up with the comp picks, because we want those next year. And I think that's the philosophy. But after that time, after the draft, teams having OTAs, they start to kind of let some players go. And that's when I think the Cowboys may start looking at maybe some trades after the draft, maybe some draft day trades to try and get some more talent. But they want to maximize what they do. Understand, Catboy is an open book. When he says selectively aggressive, he means it. We're aggressive, but we're going to take our time and make sure that the moves that we're making are going to maximize what we get. So, with that being said, the National Medal of Honor Museum has opened up, and the Cowboys, Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson and other players and things were all there for the grand opening last night. And that's a place I definitely, the next time I go to Dallas for a game, I want to make sure that I go through there. I love going through the museums. If you ever go to New Orleans, the World War II Museum will change your life. It is that powerful. Especially that sub, the realistic last ride sub, but definitely do that. But I've been to a lot of museums, and I look forward to going there and seeing all of these people that have done everything they could for our country. And as far as the veterans go, I cannot thank you guys enough for everything that you've done. And I'm glad that they've got that place built and open. Hmm. You know, I have to tell you guys a story. You know, I've been a little bit more on edge and a little bit more sensitive to some things, and realizing that I don't want to waste time, and I'm tired of people just being assholes for no good reason. I have a good friend of mine who unexpectedly, friend of hers, who was doing all kinds of things, you know, like everything was normal, in his 50s. And his mother said to him, "You look like you're not quite right." And he said, "Well, after I get finished with such and such, which was going to happen in a week or two or something," he said, "I'll go to the doctor and get checked out." And he went home that night, and he went to bed, and he never woke up. Had a heart attack that night and died. And that's the thing that's crazy, is how he didn't go home thinking that was going to be his last night. His friends, completely in shock, having talked to him, seeing posts on Facebook of things that he did that day that he died. There's no rhyme or reason. Tony Boo, shout out to Tony Boo. Tony Boo, he sent an incredible email and stuff. We read it a couple days ago, but he was literally paralyzed with some kind of an infection. It's been in the hospital for a couple of months. He's out of the hospital now and doing better. But things in life can change so fast. And this is where wasting time and being assholes to one another is not how I want to spend my time. And I'm just not going to do that anymore. Life is too short and life is too precious. And that's what I always tell you guys. Tell the people you love how much you love them. Because you might not get the chance again, and I love you guys. So ends another day. God willing, I'll see you tomorrow.